5,
What are you guys doing?
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yo, shut the fuck up. Based. It's a word that many internet funny people use daily. A term that the Urban Dictionary defines as the quality of having an opinion without regard for what other people think. The site also defines it as the opposite of a cringe. What the fuck am I doing this? To acknowledge one's comment or opinion as based is a compliment. Most of the time. I have crafted for your viewing pleasures today 4 mini reviews of anime which I believe I have truly based opinions about. Each one is less than 5 minutes long for brevity's sake and to keep it easy on me, as this is the first video I have made with any semblance of a script. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is, if you disagree, you're fucking cringe. After the show, I'll give updates in regards to the channel and my plans for it. And finally, if you're not based, don't worry. You can start on the road to becoming based too. All you need to do is subscribe and turn on notifications.
Okay, so this video in its original form got copyright claimed and blocked in 200 some countries, and that doesn't really matter to me unless it's America, and it did get blocked in America where like all of my viewers are. So from these timestamps, I'm going to flash videos or images or something, do something to make sure that the YouTube bot does not pick up that I'm using stuff. Oh, and also all the opening visuals that I use, the anime openings that I used for this video have been mirrored. And if that's still not good enough for YouTube, I'm gonna be seriously pissed, because as we all know, fair use does not exist on this platform anymore, so I got to degrade the quality of my already shitty review. Anyways, back to the video we go. Okay, the first anime on the list is Quintessential Quintuplets. I was in a mode. I needed some trashy harem anime. I think I got what I was looking for. All you really need to care about is that the girls are they're the whole focus of the story. They're fairly good. Like they're not that bad. They're kind of enjoyable, except for Itsuki. Itsuki is a waste of fucking ink.
Oh man, he's talking about Itsuki, man. Let me just tell you a little bit about Itsuki. What?
I swear to God, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why would you create this character? Why? Why would you do this? Why would you make us suffer like this?
Probably gonna get crucified for this one, but I really don't care. Miku is criminally overrated. I'm just gonna say it. There's nothing special about her. She's the generic, oh, I'm the quiet one. But the thing that gets me the worst, why doesn't she wear her headphones correctly? Man, I get it. I have headphones that I wear everywhere too. I look like a fucking tool. But at least wear the headphones correctly. And not to mention, she only uses them like once.
Hey bro, there are spoilers ahead. If you want to avoid them, skip to this timestamp.
This like whole plot point about how she has this weird thing for like the Japanese warlords of history, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, it's been a couple months, but I'm like, okay, so that's her thing. So she's gonna be like the one gimmick character that fans like, despite the fact that she doesn't have emotions for the main character. But no! All of a sudden, she's just like, yeah, throw that out of the window. A preference doesn't exist. I don't know, but it just felt a little weird to me. And then there's the third one, Nino. She's the tsundere. She's,
It's not like I like you.
Back up.
But it's not even like a good tsundere, because a tsundere actually likes the character secretly. She doesn't like this guy. She just straight up hates him. Okay, editing Blake here. I've come to reverse the statement I just made, because I realized how stupid it was. Tsunderes don't necessarily immediately like the character. Most of them actually greatly dislike the character, but grow warmer to them over time. She does grow warmer to him over time, so she's actually not that bad. Keep that in mind. The statements that I make from now on when I'm not editing Blake don't necessarily reflect the views that I have now that I used my fucking brain for once. I still can't get over the fact that she fucking drugged him. What?
There's this whole plot point that they throw in there where he used to be a little hard-ass McGee when he was a child, you know, edgy, rule breaker. So basically the exact opposite of the person he is now. She sees a picture of the guy and she's like, oh my god, I fucking love this man. Like, she doesn't really like Futuro for who he is now, but for the man he was before. Not really a recipe for a successful future. If that's like a personality that you left behind, which I frankly don't blame him for.
Now there's the other two sisters. Yatsuba and Ichika. Okay, man, this is where it starts to get good. One of these two was your favorite character. You have respect from me. First, there's Yatsuba. She's just wholesome. She's just a very happy. She's a little bit stupid. My God. And then there was Ichika. She was best girl. If you think otherwise that Ichika is not best girl, what she is. She just is. Just watch it. You'll understand. Ichika's just best girl. Okay, she's just the best. There's no getting around it. And if you think otherwise, or just straight up didn't like her, you need to roll into a ditch and die. If your taste is this bad, you do not deserve to live at this point.
And now something about the anime that's not the girls. Animation was pretty damn good. Like, some of the scenes were gorgeous. Not even some, like, every episode had at least like a few scenes that were really well animated. And there was the music. The only songs I remember off the soundtrack were the intro and the outro. The outro is actually kind of a banger though. The outro is low-key way better than the intro. As of recording, Quintessential Quintuplets has like 3 episodes out now in season 2. I will definitely be checking out the second season to see if it gets any better. It's not bad. I'll give it a 6 or 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I'm feeling a little generous. Not my first choice, but not necessarily a bad choice either. For someone who's not seen Beastars before or hasn't really heard of it, edgy Zootopia. Think Zootopia for older audiences at least, you know, audiences that can handle a little bit of bloodshed. Remember how in Zootopia, like, the predators would go insane or something like that and start attacking, became perceived as a danger to the herbivores? Yeah, so they kind of copped out in Zootopia by saying that the predators were getting, like, drugged with, like, cracked cocaine berries or something like that, or whatever the hell those things were. The thing about Beastars is that it's an actual psychological condition. It seems that some predators can't really control themselves or having issues with it. Because it literally starts out with an herbivore being killed. I'm pretty sure it was like a sheep or something like that, and it was being killed by a predator. So Beastars took a much more mature approach to it. Almost every source that I watched, even YouTubers I watched who were going on about Beastars, were talking about how deep it was. And I watched it, and it was just them saying the same thing over and over again. At least to me, as far as I remember, it was just them going, predators can't control their urges to gnaw on herbivores and devour them whole. Oh wait, look, this one controls himself. Oh look, this one controls himself too. Oh, I guess he can't control himself. Oh, I guess he can. Like, it was just back and forth and back and forth. I was just kind of tired of it. I'm probably gonna look back on that take and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Blake? Did you seriously think that? My favorite character in it was by far Haru. You know, like the little bunny, the bunny or rabbit or whatever the fuck she was, I don't remember.
Welcome back, bro. There are some minor spoilers ahead. Here's the timestamp in case you wanna skip to it.
It kind of illustrated this nice little bit of world building about how bunnies are kind of marginalized in their society because they're so tiny, or they're not treated equally. The only time where she could feel equally treated was when she was having relations with another animal. That was the degree that it had to go for them to feel equally treated. It's kind of fucked up, and it kind of highlighted how, although their society looked like really civilized and stuff like that, it's actually fundamentally flawed.
Yeah, that's not funny.
I'm uncovering the layers myself as I say this aloud. Maybe it was a little bit deeper than I thought it was. now judging it on merits other than the best character, just the story itself, the things you were watching didn't really captivate me, or it didn't captivate me enough to want to watch another episode. In fact, it felt like a chore. I'd be like, hey, well, when I finish this episode, I'll be one step closer to watching another anime. Animation was very unique. I haven't seen anything like it. I thought it was pretty cool. My favorite part about the anime is probably just the opening alone. That seems pretty shallow, but it's true. I mean, the opening alone is really good. It's so jazzy. I kind of like how they did stop motion animation for the, mostly stop motion animation for the intro. That was really cool. I haven't seen anything like that. Other than the opening, I don't remember any music from it. I'm pretty sure, I don't remember any music. I think I'm gonna like it more if I rewatch it. I'm probably gonna notice details that I didn't notice before. Right after I watched it, I thought it was very mediocre. I really didn't like it, but now that I'm literally thinking on the spot as I'm recording this, it was way better than I gave it credit for. I would normally rate it like a 5 out of 10, or like a low 6 out of 10 probably. I'm willing to give it like a 7 for the time being. I mean, I haven't rewatched it yet, so I'm not gonna go too high, but it's a 7 out of 10 now. Not bad. It's much better than I remember it being, now that I'm thinking about it. The openings were really good, the music was really good, some parts of the story were really good, but other than that, my disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. 5 out of 10 at the very best. Okay, try to follow me here. I'm going to try to explain the story of Tanya the Evil from how I remember it. Tanya the Evil is the story of a capitalist pig office worker who has quote-unquote, like, every complex you can imagine. I'm talking god complexes, I'm talking superiority complexes. He's just kind of cold and ruthless. Anyways, so he gets shoved in front of a moving train and then talks with God or something, and then gets a second chance at life despite the fact he's a piece of shit. So he gets reincarnated as a blonde-haired little selfish gremlin. No, not that one. In fantasy Nazi Germany. So the way the reincarnation worked was that Tanya would retain the memories and all of the intelligence of her previous life, which means she had the intelligence of a fully grown adult in this world, and that made her be able to enlist in the military while still being a child, mind you, being like 9 or something like that, and becomes one of the highest ranking, they don't even call themselves Germans or whatever, but we'll call them Germans anyway, becomes one of the highest ranking German soldiers, or one of the most promising ones. Yeah, the plot is pretty hard to follow. They use guns, but what makes it fantasy is that they have magic, I guess, and they have these really stupid, like, rocket boots and stuff like that. About 50% of it was a bunch of big guys, big honchos in the fantasy German government going, I wonder who we're gonna kill today. I wonder who we're gonna conquer today. Oh, let's send Tanya over there. More about Tanya herself. I have a feeling that like 60% of the animation budget was put into contorting her face into this ugly goblin sneer. And if there's one thing that they were very egregious about, they were trying to prove that Tanya is a bad guy. In case you couldn't tell. She killed a lot of people, and she enjoyed it. Oh, look, she made this scary face. She must be evil. Oh, she fights for the Nazis. So yeah, it was just a bunch of boring German politics and her shooting people and going to war and war and war. I don't remember any music from it except for the intro, which I kind of hated and still hasn't really grown on me. And the outro's good though. The action scenes weren't too bad, but it just felt a little senseless. I did not have fun watching this. It was just dull. It was a very dull anime to me. 5 out of 10. I don't know what to say. And I know there will be some people who say that Tanya the Evil is the smartest, most genius anime ever made. No, it's not. It is not. It is not that good. I don't recommend it. Welcome to the end of the video. If you stayed this far, that means you're a real one, and I thank you. This video was initially going to be way longer than it is now. It was initially going to be a mini review for all the anime I watched in 2020, which seemed like a good idea on paper if I had experience making reviews, writing scripts, editing a video of this kind, retained all the details of each show so I could give a really accurate review based on, you know, all of my pure reflections, and the video would have come out to be at least like an hour and 10 minutes long if I kept every one 5 minutes or shorter at the very least if I was crunching. So yeah, I decided about halfway through the project to make this about opinions that I haven't heard very often when it comes to these anime, because they're usually so praised, or certain parts about it are so praised, and I thought, wow, that's not really praisable whatsoever. Although I do admit that I'm probably going to look back on this in like 2 years, or 2 or 3 years, hell, who knows how long, having rewatched the shows or the seasons or whatever, and absolutely hate what I had to say, except for Danganronpa 3. I'm pretty confident that I'm not gonna like Danganronpa 3 again. Danganronpa 3 was just straight up AIDS. As for those channel updates I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna try to switch to content that's easier to push out, because these videos are a big workload on an amateur editor who taught himself how to edit in Filmora one day. I am by no means a professional, and I won't crunch myself like I am one. So I'm gonna make it a little bit easier to make content more often. I'm still gonna work on longer, more edited videos. For example, I'm gonna start working on that free games thing again. So I'm gonna be working on multiple videos at once. Whether that affects my content quality, only time will tell. But, yeah, I'm gonna try to push out content a little bit more often. Last little bit of news that I can think of off the top of my head. I got a Twitter page now, or I've had one for a while now, but this is my first time actually promoting it. So, yeah, go follow that. Anyways, with all that being said, I'll see you in the next video, which hopefully won't take another several months to make.